involve just partial closure in the organs of speech responsible. So there is partial closure in fricative, while in plosive we have total obstruction. Examples of fricative sounds are sh, the, v, sh, s, z, h, and sh. Affricates. We have sounds that are called affricates too. In their production, there used to be total obstruction of air in the organs responsible, but the air is gradually released. Examples of such sounds are ch and j. We have nasal sounds as well. Nasal sounds are produced when the velum is lowered to allow the free flow of air through the nasal cavity. Such sounds are naturally voiced. So all nasal sounds are voiced. None of them is voiceless. Examples of nasal sounds are m, n, and n. Lateral sounds. There is only one lateral sound in English language, and it is produced with obstruction of air at the center of the mouth, but a free flow of air at the two sides. So when you produce the lateral sound, there is obstruction of air at the center of the mouth, but the air is freely flowing, will be flowing freely on the two sides of the mouth. That is, the tongue will be blocking the center while the air will flow through the two sides of the tongue. The only lateral sound in English language is L. We have approximants. These are sounds that are also referred to as a semi-vowel because there is a free flow of air during their production and there is no obstruction. So examples include j and w. Retroflex approximants. There is only one sound in this category, and it is produced with partial closure at the center, but with vibrations between the articulator and the place of articulation. The only retroflex approximant sound is r. We'll move to the state of the glottis. That is another parameter for categorizing consonant sounds. The state of the glottis explains the position of the vocal cord in sound production. There are two main parameters for determining the state of the glottis. They are voiced sounds. The voiced sounds are produced when the two vocal cords are tightly close together to each other, therefore prompting a forceful release of air and a vibration in the oral cavity. So in producing voiced sounds, there is going to be a closure, a tightly closed vocal cord. The vocal cords will be tightly close to one another, to each other, and then it will prompt a forceful release of air. Then the release of air will eventually lead to vibration in the oral cavity. Voiced sounds in English language include b, v, the, z, j, g, ma, n, l, r, ng, w, and j. The voiceless sounds. The voiceless sounds are produced when the two vocal cords are resting apart, allowing free flow of air through the trachea without any vibration. So they are word and opposite. The voiced sound involves the vocal cords coming together, tightly close together, while the voiceless sound has to do with the vocal cords resting apart. So examples of voiceless sounds in English language are pa, ta, s, sh, ch, k, ha, and Now we are going to pick the consonant sounds one after the other, and we are going to describe them with the necessary examples. Description of consonant sounds. The first one we'll be talking about is the sound pa. Pa is produced with the two lips coming together and a partial obstruction of air flow. There is minimal vibration in the production of pa at the vocal cord. Hence, it is a voiceless bilabial plosive sound. It can be realized at the initial, middle, and final position of English words. Now the spellings are P, PH, and double P. Let's check out some of the examples. We can realize pa at the initial stage. Examples include pot, plate, pick. At the middle stage, we can have something like shepherd, contemplate, lapse, and then at the final stage, we can have chip, step, and cap, etc. We should note that pa is silent in the following words. That is, when you see the sound in some words, some of the words that we have outlined here, it is voiceless. It does not reflect in the pronunciation. Words like psalm, as in P-S-A-L-M, pneumonia, empty, psychology, diaphragm, photo, receipt, cool, physics, philosophy. You will discover that it is only physical representation. The sound pa is only physically represented. It is not represented in sound. The sound ba. There is always a total obstruction of air in the oral cavity while producing this sound, thereby causing a vibration in the vocal cord. The sound is produced with the two lips, therefore it is a voiced bilabial plosive sound. It can be realized at the initial stage, the middle, and the final position of English words. Examples include bat, bottle, boy. Those are words that have the sound at the initial stage. Let's check words that have it in the middle position. We have bubble, scramble, baby. At the final position, we have stab, tube, name. We should note that ba is silent in some words. It is silent in words like bed, plumber, womb, subtle, thumb, lamb, comb, bomb, limb, and lamb, etc. This sound is produced with minimal vibration in the vocal cord. It is produced with the upper teeth and the lower lip. It is a voiceless, labiodental, fricative sound. It can be realized at the initial, middle, and final positions of English words. Its spellings include GH, PH, F, and double F. Examples of words that have the sound at the initial stage. We have fish, fan, food, physics. At the middle stage, we have selfish, personification, confuse, confess. At the final position, we have leaf, cough, handcuff, and dandruff. The sound V. This sound is produced with total obstruction of air in the oral cavity, hence it is a voiced sound. It involves the coming together of the upper teeth and the lower lips for its production. Therefore, we can say it is a voiced, labiodental, and fricative sound. It can be realized at the initial, middle, and final positions of English words. Its spelling is V. We can have it in V. Examples. At the initial stage, we have van, victory, view, vehicle. At the middle position, we can have something like convict, divert, reverse, prevent. And at the final position, we can have dove, revive, curb, leave, and so on. The sound ka, ka. This sound is produced with partial obstruction of air flowing from the vocal cord. Hence, it is a voiceless sound. It is produced when the back of the tongue is raised to the velum or the soft palate. It is therefore a voiceless, velar, plosive sound. It is spelled as K, C, double C,